Hello and welcome back to a special edition of Western Slope Weekly. I'm here with a special guest, Zebulon Miracle, the Executive Director of United Way Mesa County. So we don't have one specific topic that we're going over today.
Great.
We have so many.
Excellent.
And it's you, Zebulon.
Wow.
I came across this interesting character that you are, and I just wanted to learn more about you.
Well, thank you.
So how did you, first off, are you a Grand Junction local?
I am. So I was born and raised here in Grand Junction and spent my childhood here, went to high school here, went away for college, went to the University of Colorado at Boulder, and then moved back and started my career here and eventually started a family here and just absolutely love this community.
Yeah, how did you get started in so many different things? Being the Executive Director of United Way with Mesa County, you've been had a hand in so many different things when it comes to museums around here as well. Just it seems like anything and everything you're doing around this community.
Well, it's very flattering. My father one time pointed out there's a big difference between multitasking and multi-doing. So I hope that I'm actually doing something and having a hand in all those things. But again, it comes back to just a love for this community, and I mean that very sincerely. This community is a very special community. It's a dear community to me, and it's one that I want to see for my son to be able to be raised in and enjoy. So I've been the Executive Director of United Way Mesa County for just shy of about 4 years now. So I've really enjoyed that opportunity, a chance to really give back to the community on a number of levels. Prior to this adventure in my life, though, I was a museum curator. So I was the curator of anthropology at the Museums of Western Colorado, and then I was also the director and curator of the Gateway Auto Museum. So I've always had this love and passion of connecting that landscape and the people and the cultures and the stories to the people that live here today and visit here today.
It's a lot like what I do with storytelling. You're just doing it in a different way.
That's exactly it. That's what it is it's using story, it's using experiences, it's using memories, and it's either having people see their community in a different light or take action to help their community or be inspired. So you're absolutely right.
What got you started in history and just the love of history for things?
I have to thank my parents for that. My parents definitely helped get this love for history and appreciation of place. I remember very specifically going to Southern California on a family trip, and I remember we did the typical like Disneyland, but I remember going to the LA County Museum too, and I remember that was to me just as exciting as Disneyland, and just being able to be in a place that told those stories that made me see the world in a different way. And that's largely how I grew up, was just this interest in going to museums and exploring what was around there and going to national parks and saying, hey, if the people over here live this way, how do the people over there live, and what can we learn from that? How does that affect people over here? So growing up, that was always part of how we recreated. It was part of how we talked. It was just something that I'm very grateful to my parents for.
How has that shaped who you are now as an adult?
I would like to think my parents did a good job. If anything, that's kind of what I'm trying to raise my child with. Not so much that I want him to feel like he has to have a love of history, but I think what it really comes down to is a curiosity, a sense of curiosity. For me, that would be the number one thing I could provide to my kid, is him having wonder about how the world works. And either he's going to help try to figure out how people interact with each other or how different people use the land, or he's going to become a scientist with this curiosity, or who knows, hopefully he follows whatever passion that is. But having curiosity, I think, is key, and I was very fortunate to have that in my upbringing, so I want to provide that for my kid as well. And frankly, that's what I get to do with my job, is I get to be curious about different things and see what I can do to help those things.
Mm-hmm. So what is your role at United Way? Other than Executive Director, what do you specifically do?
Sure. We've got a small but mighty team, which I'm very, very proud of. So we help raise hundreds of thousands of dollars that we give in community grants. We're currently giving grants to 43 different nonprofit programs. Over the last year or so, we've launched the Mesa County Imagination Library, which provides free books for kids under the age of 5. We've recently mailed out over 40,000 books in less than a year. We launched a volunteer hub so that people that want to give time have their place to go to find out what is looking for time. And then we're doing a lot of work on the homelessness and houselessness issue in Grand Junction. So we've done a lot of poverty immersions. And to me, what all that boils down to, It's curiosity. I want people to know about the agencies that are doing great work. I want people to learn how to read at a young age to get that excitement. I want people to know some of the causes and misconceptions about key problems.
All right. All right, don't go anywhere. We still have more with Zebulon to talk about.